On July 26, 2021, Officer David Lance Dukes from the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety responded to a call concerning a man reportedly banging on a townhouse door with a gun in his waistband. Upon arrival at the scene, Officer Dukes promptly drew his firearm and instructed 58-year-old disabled man Clarence Yard and his cousin Mario Julian, who were standing in the parking lot outside the townhouse, to lie on the ground.
Hey, let me see your hands. Bert, get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground right here! Get on the ground! You, burgundy shirt, get on the ground! Over here! On the ground! On the ground! Get on the ground! Do you not listen? Get on the ground!
Mr. Gaillard endeavours to obey Officer Dukes' commands by getting onto his hands and knees, but Officer Dukes forcefully employs his foot in an attempt to compel Mr. Gaillard all the way to the ground, resulting in his head violently striking the pavement.
Is there a gun back there?
Ain't no gun.
By that truck.
Ain't no gun.
You're not listening, dude.
Despite Officer Dukes initially claiming to believe that Mr. Gaillard had a gun at the beginning of the interaction, it became evident at the time Officer Dukes used force against Mr. Gaillard that he didn't pose an immediate threat. Mr. Gaillard had raised both of his empty hands above his head before getting on his hands and knees. Ultimately, Mr. Gaillard was not resisting arrest in any manner. In fact, he was actively attempting to comply with Officer Dukes' commands.
Bro, you got a gun on you, man?
No, I ain't got no gun.
Right,
I
I'm
don't
just
own no gun. I don't
Turn
own
back over. Paul, door, you watched him say? He had something.
I ain't own no gun.
The door's unlocked, the car, so.
No, he was right here. Watch him. Go watch him. There it is.
I don't own no gun.
All right, that's what he had. All right, who's the complainant? All right, get him up.
Put your leg up.
25 city, got one tank.
Alright. Put your leg that way so you
I'm
can stand
just
up.
All right, listen, I'm about to help you. Hold on. Hold on. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right.
Yep.
Listen.
Yep, they slammed my head
Listen.
down on the cement. Yep.
Go back inside. Go back in the house. Go back in the
Yep.
house. Ain't nobody talking to you.
I got head drummer.
Go back in the house.
Yep. Y'all bust my head down. Yeah, I've been in an accident. Yep. Y'all bust my head down. You threw me down.
I sure did.
And
You wasn't listening.
Yep. No, it ain't. You ain't to throw me down like that. I'm disability.
Okay.
I got head problem. Yep. You threw me down. Yep. You threw me down. You threw me down. Yep. You bust my head down on the cement. Yep. You bust my head.
All right, let me tell you what happened.
His forehead.
You bust my head down on the cement.
He was in front of the car when I came up. And he was walking like this. And I thought it was a gun at first. I said, drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun, drop the gun. Had him at gunpoint. And he's over here doing something like this.
You slammed my head. You slammed my
What
head
he was doing is
down
putting
in
this up behind the
cement.
tire. So he comes over right here. He got his hands in his pockets. I'm telling him, let me see your hands, let me see your hands, let me see your
Why you
hands.
bust my head then?
He wasn't listening.
No, it ain't.
He got like this right here,
You grabbed me.
and we went onto the ground.
Officer Dukes claims that when Mr. Gaillard was walking from behind the white vehicle, he believed that Mr. Gaillard had a gun and repeatedly instructed him to drop it. Additionally, Officer Dukes alleges that once Mr. Gaillard stepped in front of the vehicle, he had his hands in his pockets and repeatedly ignored requests to show his hands. However, the body camera footage contradicts Officer Dukes' claims. The footage shows that Mr. Gaillard actually had his hands above his head. Furthermore, while Officer Dukes repeatedly shouted at Mr. Gaillard to get on the ground, he never asked him to drop a gun or show his hand, likely because Mr. Gaillard's hands were visible throughout the encounter.
You bust my
Yeah,
forehead.
your head did hit the cement.
Right, cause you bust me down on the cement.
Where's the complainant?
You bust my head down on the cement.
Right here?
You bust my head. You bust my head.
Where's the complainant?
Bust my head down.
We're trying to get the name of the complainant.
You
So
bust my head.
What are we doing with him? I guess Sam was going to check him out. There ain't nothing over here wanting to press charges on.
Who called?
I'm not sure.
Take him out of cuffs right now. I mean, because that's what we got.
You're going to have to use it for us.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Slam my head down.
Dude, I didn't know what his
You
intention
use
was.
it for us. You need to have a look at the camera.
All right.
The officer did wrong. Slam my head down. Bust my forehead. Damn right. You gonna pay me for that shit too.
Mayor, I'm going to take that into evidence of what he had.
What?
Well, I mean, you know, that's the reasons I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from.
No gun or nothing.
Because when he was behind the truck, I couldn't see what he was doing. And I didn't know where
There ain't nothing there.
that went. If it was still in his pockets when he come around that car with his hands in his pockets.
These dogs officer.
Got it on camera.
Yeah, a
All
dog
right, that's
stick.
fine.
A dog stick.
So he can come out of cuffs?
Yes. Take him out of handcuffs.
Yeah, he can come out. Oh, Lord.
You want me to check you out?
You mind looking? Hi. Good, how are you? What's going on?
Officer slammed my forehead down in the cement.
Okay.
In the wrong for that.
Whose phone is this?
Yeah. Listen.
Can I get a card from you?
I don't have one now.
Okay.
We don't have
What's your
they
badge
don't give us cards.
Okay, what's your badge number?
1059.
Let me see if I can get my phone. Hold on.
Hold on, we have cards.
I get ready.
Okay. Thank you.
When Mr. Julian asks Officer Dukes for a business card, Officer Dukes claims that they are not issued cards by their department. However, Sergeant Polidor immediately corrects Officer Dukes, stating that they do have cards, and provides Mr. Julian with the requested information. If it was concluded that Officer Dukes intentionally lied to Mr. Julian in an attempt to avoid accountability for his actions, it is possible that he could be convicted of 2 common law crimes under South Carolina law: obstruction of justice and official misconduct. After Mr. Gaillard was treated by EMS, he and Mr. Julian were allowed to leave. 2 days after the incident, Officer Dukes was fired from the Orangeburg Department of Public Safety for violating the department's use of force policies, which are not publicly available. On August 25, 2021, former Officer Dukes was charged with first-degree assault and battery, which could carry a sentence of up to 10 years in prison. On February 15, 2018, around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Deputy Zach Wester from the Jackson County Sheriff's Office conducted a traffic stop in Marianna, Florida. The stop involved pulling over Teresa Odom, a 52-year-old grandmother, because her vehicle's brake lights were reportedly flickering rapidly. At the moment of the stop, Miss Odom was under felony probation for involvement in dealing with stolen property. Following the stop, Deputy Wester proceeded to approach the driver's side window of Miss Odom's vehicle.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Should I turn in here to get off?
You're fine, you're fine. Deputy Westwood, Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Reason for my stop is your brake lights.
Yes, sir.
They work 1 minute, and the next minute they don't work, and then a few seconds later they just flash, okay?
I think it's probably because of the rain.
Okay, that's fine. You got your driver's license on you, ma'am?
I just got tickets the other day. I'll be glad to show
Oh,
them
did
to
you?
you.
No, you're fine. All right, thank you. I'll be right back.
My truck may or may not start when I turn it off. You may have to push me off, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you.
Okay. Do you need to turn it off? Do you have to turn it off?
It'd be probably better.
Okay.
I'm on a hard time with it as it is.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If
Can
we
I
can
answer my phone?
Yeah. You can answer your phone. I'm just trying to think what's going to be best for. What is? What is that right there?
What is what?
That right there.
What is what? This?
That straw right there.
This is no straw. It's an ink pen.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay.
an ink pen.
It was connected. It looked like it was
No
connected
straw.
to that arc. Just
Hey,
hang
I just
tight,
got
okay?
pulled over.
Man, you see my hip give out right then? Good Lord.
Look,
All
you
right.
just don't even need to know. I've been at the hospital with an
My
84-year-old
God.
uncle all day long for 3 days.
Okay.
Now, so I'm expecting anything at this point.
That would be. Yeah, I hope everything turns out good with that. All right.
It did. It did.
Oh Lord, have mercy. I'm
It
sorry.
did. And I'm waiting on Dr. Albritton to call me. That was another thing I was fixing to tell you.
Okay.
If Dr. Albritton calls,
That's
may I
fine.
answer his call?
That ain't no problem. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not going to keep you from talking on the phone, okay? Anything in the vehicle I need to be concerned about? Bombs, hand grenades,
Drugs,
rocket launchers?
nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Here's what I do probably 10 or 15 times a shift, okay? There's going to be a K9 coming in a minute, and she's going to walk around the car, okay? But instead of doing that, would you consent to a search of your vehicle? You're fine with that? Okay. All right. You mind stepping out and just hanging out with this deputy right back here?
No, I don't. I'm scared of being in this traffic. To be
No,
honest.
Deputy Hayke will take care of you.
Deputy Wester informed Miss Odom that a K9 unit was en route and requested her consent for a search of her vehicle, despite not being legally obligated to do so. Miss Odom readily agreed to Deputy Wester's request to search her vehicle.
Can I take my phone?
Yeah, take your phone. I don't care. That's fine. Come on. 2554 to 2540. You can cancel. I got consent. All right, Deputy Hayke, make sure you don't get run over, okay? Because I have faith that he would prefer to get over. All right, just hang tight, myself.
The body cam footage revealed Deputy Wester holding what seemed to be a small baggie as he put on his gloves. Subsequent investigations confirmed that Deputy Wester had planted methamphetamine in Miss Odom's vehicle. While planting drugs or any form of evidence is both highly unethical and illegal behavior, unfortunately, some police officers do engage in such misconduct. Victims of planted evidence, such as Miss Odom, often feel powerless to contest the charges, especially when it becomes a matter of their word against that of corrupt officers. However, individuals have recourse through public defenders and criminal defense lawyers who can assist them in mounting a defense. It's crucial for individuals facing criminal charges based on planted evidence never to plead guilty without first seeking legal counsel. Following the planting of the evidence in Miss Odom's vehicle, Deputy Wester confronted her about the substance.
According to the brother of David, neither he nor his brother Franklin walked.
Miss Odom.
It is yogurt, son.
I know. Okay.
It's yogurt.
How about this, though?
That is not mine. No, sir.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you any
No,
direct, hold on.
sir.
I'm not going to ask you any direct questions. I'm going to read you your rights first, okay? So just hang out with Deputy Hayke here.
What is it?
I have an idea. We're going to test it, though, okay? I don't know.
Oh
but-
no, Teresa, you're going to jail.
Yep. You what? Okay.
What it is?
Yeah, there goes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Jess. No. Do you have anything on you, Miss Odom?
I said I didn't have anything on me in the truck.
Oh, okay.
officer.
Oh, okay. But do you have anything on your person? Is what
I
I'm
have
asking.
nothing on me to my knowledge
Okay.
at
Thank
all.
you. We're good. Okay. All right.
And I'm not trying to be ugly.
It did return presumptive positive for methamphetamine. Okay. I'm just letting you know. Okay.
Deputy Wester proceeded to conduct a field chemical test on the substance he planted and informed Miss Odom that the test yielded a presumptive positive result for methamphetamine.
What about my truck?
I'm gonna have to tow it, okay, since it's a narcotics felony arrest, okay?
They saying they gonna tow my truck, baby.
Right. Here, you just want to put your phone and your sunglasses in your purse here, and we'll make sure all this gets to the jail.
Miss Odom was arrested and faced felony charges for methamphetamine possession and drug paraphernalia. She spent 19 days in jail before ultimately pleading no contest to the charges. Miss Odom later explained her decision, stating, "I just didn't think I'd be able to beat anything, being as it was law enforcement, and I wanted to get home and take care of my grandbaby." She was about to be 3 months old in August 2018. Following concerns about Deputy Wester's conduct, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement launched an investigation at the request of the Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Wester was placed on administrative leave on August 1st, 2018, and subsequently terminated on September 10th. The investigation revealed a pattern wherein Deputy Wester routinely stopped citizens for minor traffic infractions, planted drugs in their vehicles, and made arrests based on these planted evidence. As a result of these revelations, prosecutors reviewed nearly 300 cases involving Deputy Wester, ultimately dropping charges and vacating convictions in over 100 instances. Miss Odom was among those affected, and on September 18th, 2018, her convictions were vacated and the charges against her were dismissed. On July 10th, 2019, Deputy Wester was arrested on multiple felony and misdemeanor charges. After a trial, on May 18th, 2021, a jury found him guilty of 19 out of the 67 charges against him. He was subsequently convicted of 12 felonies on July 13th, 2021, and was sentenced to 12.5 years in state prison for these convictions.
You were the one driving up and down the street on the motorcycle?
I was on my gas bicycle.
Okay, that's a gas-powered vehicle. You have to have a driver's license.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Not when it's 50cc and you have a permit for it.
You just saw how a 15-year-old boy stood up to the police officers. But that was just a small part of a long argument that lasted about 40 minutes. In this argument, the young man emerged as the clear winner by calmly showing up half of the police station with what he knew. On September 29, 2019, the police got a call about a man named Michael Franchek having a problem with his neighbor over his 15-year-old son, Jack, riding a motorcycle in the neighborhood. The police went to the place right away. When they talked to the neighbor, they learned that Michael might have had a weapon hidden in his belt. When they got to the Franchek family's front door, this happened.
Can I help you?
Hello, are you, Michael?
Hi, can I help you with something?
Yeah, we're here about a...
And your name?
Officer Rodriguez.
First name?
Jim.
Jim, how are you, Jim? And your name? Please?
Sure.
Sorry? Badge number?
What's that?
Badge number,
Okay.
please?
Let's go ahead and talk about the incident that you had out here a few minutes ago.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Step down here for me.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, hey!
You just saw the moment when things shifted during this police encounter. After this, Michael started to fight with the officers who were trying to take him out of his house forcefully. They used a taser on him before putting handcuffs on and arresting him. From this point on, everything you'll see was recorded by his son Jack, who courageously stood up for his father.
This is unbelievable.
No, I know.
This is
They
unbelievable.
walked in the house without a search warrant.
This is unbelievable.
Okay.
It's all on film. Get my camera.
It's on my phone too.
It's on my phone. The whole thing is on film. The whole thing is on film. Jack, follow me and record.
Okay.
This way.
Follow me and record. Okay.
Give us space.
I'm not...
Give us space.
Okay.
No, Jack,
What's
give
your
us all the
space?
thing.
What's your space?
Jack, record the whole film. Oh, you're recording.
Give us space.
Does this look like enough space?
If the police get a tip that someone might have a weapon, especially after an argument, they'll check it out to keep everyone safe. Now, about entering someone's house. Everyone has a right, called the Fourth Amendment, to be protected from unfair searches and seizures in their home. Normally, police can't come into your home without a warrant or your permission, but there's something called exigent circumstances. These are situations where immediate action is needed and might allow the police to enter without a warrant. These are exceptions to the Fourth Amendment's rule. Whether exigent circumstances apply in a specific case depends on the details, and it could be argued about in court.
Didn't resist? I know. I didn't do it. You know. See, he acknowledged that I didn't resist, Jack.
Yeah, I have it on video.
I didn't resist.
Well, we asked you to stop, right?
I didn't do anything against your instructions. This guy came into my house without a warrant, without any probable cause.
Let me just talk for a second.
I said, I don't know anything, and he tackled me in my house. He recorded the whole thing. This guy is out of control.
Okay.
What's your badge? What's your name?
Step back.
I'm not.
Look, he
I'm
just
on my
touched me. You
property.
can record all you want, but you're stepping back right now.
This guy,
Back.
Hey, don't touch me. Stop harassing me.
We're just trying to.
I'm videoing this. Please get out of my personal space.
No.
Yes.
You're not gonna
Get out
interfere
of my
with what we're
personal
doing.
space. This is my property. Please
You're
get
not
out of my
gonna interfere with an arrest.
I'm chill. I've been chill.
You can record all you want, but you're not gonna get close to what they're
I'm
doing.
on my property. Move out of my personal space.
I'm gonna stand right
This
here.
is my personal square. Please move.
I'm gonna stand right here.
Please move. You're in my personal space.
No. What's your name?
Yeah, I do not need to give you that.
Yeah, you do.
For what reason?
Jack, don't do
Because you're
I know.
involved in this.
I'm involved with this, yes. But this guy threatened me and called the cops on you. And what's your badge number?
What's your name?
What's your badge number? Badge number. That says name.
3K12.
Okay.
Now what's your name?
I'm not making any statements.
It's clear that Jack knows the law quite well and understands his rights. His behavior towards the police is excellent because he gets what he wants without giving them a reason to react badly. Now let's talk about how the police behaved. They seem to realize that the situation is being blown out of proportion and that they reacted wrongly. The camera even caught one officer admitting, "I know," when Michael said he didn't resist. Officer Rodriguez, who led the chaotic arrest in the house, seems nervous and even aggressive towards Jack at one point. Remember, Jack is just 15 years old, and the only threats to the police at the time are Jack's knowledge and his cell phone.
Step back. Do not step forward. What did I just
then
tell you?
Please get out of my space.
I do not have to.
Okay,
You
then
cannot interfere with what we're doing.
I'm not interfering when I'm on my property.
Don't step towards the car.
I'm not. Then
you
move out of
did
my
step
way.
towards the car. I told
Okay.
you not to.
You tried to run. You can't. Hey!
Stay back.
I'm going in my house.
Stay back.
I'm going in.
If you try and come past me, you're going to go on the ground face first. Do you understand me?
Okay, and then I'm going to file a complaint against you. Go grab your camera, yes. I'm allowing you to do that, but you cannot walk in my house. Okay, bye.
When dealing with minors, officers need to be extra careful. Threats, especially those involving potential physical harm like the one made by Officer Rodriguez, are not okay legally or ethically. If Jack felt threatened, the officer could face legal consequences. Any use of force by police, even a gentle push, must be justified. Police can't use force just because someone is recording them or because they find it annoying. In the US, citizens generally have the right to record police officers doing their job in public spaces, as long as it doesn't interfere with the officer's duties or put anyone in danger. Finally, the police questioned Jack about the misunderstanding and the alleged motor vehicle that caused all this chaos.
I have 3 cops on me and I'm 15 years old. Because you guys intruded my house.
So you were the one driving up and down the street on the motorcycle?
I was on my gas bicycle.
Okay, that's a gas-powered vehicle. You have to have a driver's license.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Not when it's 50cc and you have a permit for it.
But we tried to come here to ask a question and figure out what's going on because what we got told is a gun was involved in this incident. So we're going to take this a little more serious.
No gun was involved, not
Okay.
at all. I don't know why you have to.
We don't know that when
We don't know that.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
I
So
understand
we're gonna
that.
come,
Yes, I
okay?
totally understand that,
Okay?
but you can't just tackle him.
But when he's told to stop, he has to stop. That's a lawful command by an officer.
We can get physical.
Okay?
But you can't just come in the house without a.
We have to control this situation.
Do you have a
Yes,
search
we can.
warrant?
We don't need
We don't need
Yes,
one.
you do to
You might
come
want to
in
go to
someone's
school and learn the law.
I
before
already
you wanna
know the
try it.
law.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Okay.
We're not going to
No,
argue.
you don't.
Okay, please don't talk to me.
Okay.
So get out of my way. Okay.
This is my case.
It's your
So I'll
case.
talk to you as much as I want.
Okay.
to
Well, I'm
talk
not
to
going to
you.
respond to you.
You don't have to respond
Okay.
to me, but I can talk to you.
Have a good day.
Okay.
Here's how Jack explains how the argument between the neighbor and his father started. Jack was riding around, which annoyed the neighbor. The neighbor began threatening him, and that's when Jack's father stepped in. He told the neighbor not to get too close, or he would have to protect himself. That's the gist of it. There was no weapon involved.
We walked back inside, and yeah. And now you guys are here, coming in the house, and I don't know why he's detained. I don't know why he's getting arrested.
Well, that's I'm not going to get into that and talk to you about that.
Well, you can, because he's my dad, and it was on my property. But
okay, well, it's not your property, it's your dad's, but we're not going to get into that, okay?
actually, technically it is, because I'm underneath his guardian, so.
Okay, but we're not going to get into that, okay?
Okay.
I'm just trying to find out where, what we're trying to get situated is what took place between you guys being
Okay, and I'm filing a what's
just
caught on him, because he touched me when I did nothing.
Okay, do you want to have a actual conversation?
Where is he going?
To Summit County Jail.
On the contrary, Officer Rodriguez seems bothered by the fact that Jack talks a lot and knows a lot. As mentioned before, no weapon was involved in this whole situation, and there wasn't even a physical fight. So Mr. Michael was treated unfairly as if he were some kind of threat. It's remarkable how Jack can make every officer around him quiet. If you pay close attention to their body language and reactions, you'll see that Jack, with his knowledge and speaking skills, makes them very uncomfortable. Let's see what else Jack will find out from the officer when he starts questioning him about the weapon.
I don't know if there's an issue going on with neighbors and with your dad and that guy. I don't know what's going on.
This is the first time we've ever seen him, met him, heard of him, looked at him, and the first thing I hear is him saying, that bicycle is illegal, it's a 50cc and I have a permit for it, and I told him that. And he goes, well, move out of the way or I'm gonna beat your ass. So that's the first confrontation we had, and all of a sudden he's calling, or I don't know if it's exactly him, you don't have to tell me, but saying that there's a gun involved.
Okay. I'll tell you right now, it wasn't him.
Okay.
So,
Did he call? He called about something probably, right?
About the bikes and stuff and whatnot, yeah.
Probably, yes, but it's legal.
But there was other people that were just kind of watching because they heard the commotion, and then they just seen it tucked in the back waistband as you guys were walking back to the house.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So if he has a concealed carry permit, or anyone here, and they have a gun, isn't that legal? And you can open carry in the state of Utah, right?
It is.
Yes.
But there's a difference between tucking it in your waistband. That is not open carry. That is a form. Open carry is seriously. This is open carry.
Yeah.
There is no instruction. It's clear as day.
Yes, I understand.
So once you tuck a weapon in your waistband or anything,
you have to have a concealed carry permit.
You have to have a concealed carry permit.
Yeah.
Now the average Joe that's standing out here, if they see,
they don't know.
They don't know.
Yeah, you can't.
And all they know is there was an argument.
Yep.
And there was a
confrontation.
Confrontation, possibly a weapon.
Well, yes.
Yeah, we need to find out what's going on.
I understand that. Yes,
okay?
I totally understand that. You don't know if there's a gun being pointed at someone. Anything.
Correct.
You have to plan for the worst.
Yep. So we just have to look at it.
So I understand that. Yes, but.
So that's just where things
were you standing at the front door with?
I was standing on the sidewalk. So.
If Mr. Franchek has a valid concealed firearm permit in Utah, he would be allowed to carry a concealed firearm, including in his waistband. Utah also permits open carry of firearms if the firearm is 2 actions away from firing. For semi-automatic firearms, this usually means carrying without a round chambered. However, if the firearm is concealed, then the aforementioned concealed firearm permit is necessary. If someone knowingly lied to the police about Mr. Franchek having a weapon, they could potentially face legal consequences. Now let's look at the very end of the discussion and see what happened after all of this.
You're begging me for my identification.
But here's the thing.
I'm not talking to you.
You're required by law. Jack, let me explain something to you, Jack.
I'm not talking to you.
Jack, the reason we're here is because of you racing your motorcycle or your gas-powered bike or whatever.
That I have a permit for.
Okay.
So I don't know why you're here. You're here because he told me, because someone called the cops saying that there was a gun involved. So you don't have to lie because I know that guy.
No. We found out there was a gun involved later.
No, when someone called. He told me you guys came here for that. I have it on video. I don't care. You guys can say whatever.
Have a nice day, all right?
Okay, you too. Failure for identification? When my dad literally said his name is Jack Franchek? Okay.
In the end, Michael Franchek was arrested and charged with interfering with an arresting officer, failure to disclose his identity, and disorderly conduct. However, these charges were dropped soon after the arrest. Following this, Franchek filed a federal lawsuit against Park City, alleging that his and his son's civil rights were violated during the confrontation. Officer Rodriguez was found in violation of 5 acts of procedural misconduct after a thorough investigation. 3 Park City police officers were found guilty of a total of 9 violations by Internal Affairs. Lastly, Sergeant Cameron Thor was fired from service.
On July 15, 2018, Montre Little, age 23, and Jared Clinton, age 21, were departing a nearby park when they encountered Officer Kyle Thies from the Des Moines Police Department in Des Moines, Iowa.
What's going on, guys?
Not much.
What's up? Is this your car?
Well, it's a rental right now. My car's in the shop.
Okay. Did something break down?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. You guys just came from over the park, right?
Yeah, we just hanging out.
That's it?
Well, that's what we're doing.
Is this your car?
I just told you my car's in the shop, officer. This is a rental.
Okay. How do you start it?
What do you mean? I just put my foot on the brake and I put it in drive and I drive, officer.
Officer Thies' seemingly innocent question had a much more tactical and accusatory undertone than initially perceived, particularly inquiring about starting the vehicle. This line of questioning provided Officer Thies with important clues regarding Mr. Little's relationship with the vehicle. If Mr. Little displayed unfamiliarity with the process of starting the car, it could suggest to the officer that he may have stolen the vehicle. Similarly, if Mr. Little fumbled or acted erratically while answering the question, it could insinuate that he was inebriated. Either of these scenarios could have provided Officer Thies with reasonable suspicion to investigate further. Fortunately, Mr. Little did not exhibit erratic behavior and appeared familiar with starting the vehicle. However, Officer Thies' questions smoothly transitioned into an additional inquiry, ultimately leading to Mr. Little surrendering his keys to the officer.
So it's your car, though? Did they give you a fob or something?
It's my car, officer.
Did they give you a key fob or something? Or?
Yes, sir. Officer.
Like, what does it do? Does it?
You see, this should let you know that it's in.
Okay. Do you have any weapons on you or in the car?
No, officer.
Okay, can I be honest with you? It smells like marijuana in the car, and I can see shake on the ground. And your buddy's giving me the idea that maybe he's got a gun.
The smell of marijuana is frequently utilized by police officers as probable cause to bypass the consent typically required from the driver of a vehicle for a search. It's crucial to note the rapidity with which Officer Thies draws his conclusions. Even before asking Mr. Little for his ID, Officer Thies has already concluded that the smell of marijuana is present. There is marijuana shake on the ground, and Mr. Clinton has a concealed gun on his person. Within only 2 minutes into the interaction, Officer Thies admits that he is basing his accusation about the gun purely on a personal hunch.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think.
How?
I don't know. Just the way. I mean, just the way you're holding yourself, man. Like, that's why we're nervous, man. That's it. I mean, if you're scared because you got a little bit of weed, that'll be one thing.
Officer,
okay.
There's no weed.
Okay.
There's no shake on the floor.
I don't have a gun.
Okay. So there's no shake on the floor.
Officer.
No. Okay. All right. And you don't have any weapons on you, you said?
Officer, that is correct.
Okay. Do you have your ID on you?
Why don't you want to get in trouble with the police?
My brother's been pulled over multiple times for doing that. I live in Des Moines. I go to work. I don't like doing it.
You don't got no weapons on you?
Officer, no, sir.
Go ahead and step out, Montre. Yep. I just told you why. 3 times. You want me to recap again?
Officer, look, my hands is up.
Yep, your hands are up, and now I'm asking you to step out of the car.
I gave you my ID.
You gave me your ID.
Go run it.
Yep, I don't want to. I'm not walking away from this car.
Officer, can I ask you why?
Yep, because I just told you, step out of the car. If you don't want to go to jail, I would expect you to please listen. I mean, I told you I'm a cop. Face the car when you step out. Face the car when you step out. Face the car when you step out. Don't flex. Don't flex. I don't know what you're doing, man, but you need to knock that off. Stop pulling on your arms. What's going on, dude? Where are you trying to go? What are you doing, dude?
Officer, I'm not doing nothing to you.
Okay. Well, you're making me think something funny's going on, man.
Come on, man.
You're not under arrest. You're just like pulling away like you're gonna do something silly, and I don't want that. What?
Nothing.
What?
I'm not even gonna.
Okay. Well, you're not under arrest, man. We're just trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so slide over here. I mean, your heart is thumping, dude. Like, you're beaten.
Officer, please don't.
Don't what? Have a seat.
Okay.
Have a seat. I think that your buddy has a gun, so I need you to step into the car.
You think my buddy has a gun?
He's acting funny. Step in the car, please.
Officer,
if you don't step in the car, you're going to jail for sure.
Okay, that's
so
fine,
step
officer.
in the car. So step in the car.
Listen.
I'm done listening. I just told you. I think that your buddy has a gun. Now knock it off.
Nothing in your. Can you spread your feet just a little bit? Okay. All right, come back and stand with me, okay? You're not gonna run from the area.
How old are you, Montre?
March 25th, 1995.
You supposed to be drinking in the park there?
Officer, officer, that's just in there, okay? There was no gun, there was no weapon to harm you, officer. We didn't do anything wrong. We stopped at the stoplight. We pulled over when you pulled over. I did everything you asked me to, officer. You thought there was a weapon. There's no weapon. We wasn't doing anything wrong, officer. I'm not sure why you pulled me over. At your rental, everything is fine. There was no breaking tail light or nothing, officer. I did nothing wrong.
Officer Tease's original reason for the stop was never disclosed publicly, and Mr. Little raises a valid point. Based solely on the information presented in the video, there doesn't appear to be a valid reason for a traffic stop. The tag registration and vehicle functions must have been valid, especially considering the car is a rental. It seems Officer Tease was unaware of an open container in the car, since he had to search the vehicle to find it and made no mention of it to Mr. Little initially. Simply leaving a park is hardly a crime, and certainly does not justify a traffic stop. Many aspects of this stop seem to be based solely on Officer Tease's speculations, and it's reasonable to assume that the stop itself was based on a hunch.
If I take them handcuffs off you, can you dump out that bottle of alcohol for me?
Oh, I could do it anytime, officer.
Is that good?
Yeah, of course it is.
You good? We straight? Okay, so here's the deal. Like, you and I know. I mean, let's start over. Let's roll with each other. Did I make anything up when I said the car smelled like marijuana?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hold on.
Because there's nobody smoking in the car.
Is there marijuana shake on the floor of the car?
Officer, that was cigarette ash, okay? You didn't find no marijuana.
I'm not charging you with marijuana. But here's what. If you want me to be real with you, like, I want you to be real with me for a second. Like, did I make that up? You know what I mean? Did I make it up?
I believe so, officer.
It remains unclear whether Officer Tease is seeking validation or a confession, but Mr. Little calls the officer's bluff and refuses to grant him the satisfaction of either. Any legal scholar would advise against admitting anything to a police officer, and Mr. Little's honesty could very well have saved him from being charged with a crime.
The ticket for the stuff that I had to write you tickets for. If you think that I'm lying, then we'll go to court and we'll talk about it then.
Okay.
Or do you want to just be real with me and I'll be real with you, right?
I would like to pull out my alcohol like you asked me to, officer. You didn't find anything. We wasn't doing anything, officer.
So you're not going to admit that you maybe were around people smoking or something like that?
Officer.
Were you around anybody smoking?
Cigarettes. Officer, there's no weed shake on the floor, officer.
Step out. Raise the car.
After failing to secure a confession, Officer Tease allowed Mr. Little and Mr. Clinton to pour out the alcohol found and go on their way without making an arrest or issuing a citation. A few months later, Mr. Little and Mr. Clinton collaborated with the social justice organization Iowa Citizens for Community Improvement to file a lawsuit against Officer Tease for violating their constitutional rights by stopping them without reasonable suspicion and conducting a warrantless search of the vehicle. In June of 2019, the Des Moines City Council agreed to a settlement of $75,000. Mr. Little and Mr. Clinton each received $25,000, and the law firm representing them received the remaining $25,000. The Des Moines Police Department conducted an administrative review of Officer T's, resulting in his removal from patrol duty, but not termination. In July 2023, a law enforcement officer from the State Trooper Division in Jackson County, Ohio, endeavored to initiate a traffic stop on a 23-year-old truck driver named Jadarius Rose. The reason for the attempted stop was the observed absence of a mud flap on the truck. Despite the trooper asserting that Mr. Rose established direct eye contact, he chose not to comply with the stop. Subsequently, the trooper requested additional assistance, and approximately 20 minutes later, Mr. Rose eventually came to a stop.
You just pull back out. Okay, it's Quick County or Ross County? He took off again. We're heading northbound, 23. 1959 Jackson, I'll have traffic. We're northbound, right lane. He rolled the window down, looked at us, rolled it back up. We're northbound 48 miles an hour, passing Moore Road in Ross County.
Upon encountering officers with drawn weapons, Mr. Rose opted to drive away from the initial stop. In response, the officers initiated pursuit and attempted to conduct another traffic stop. In the midst of the chase, Mr. Rose dialed 911, and the recorded audio from this call was subsequently shared by the Cleveland news station WKYC channel.
I don't know why they even pulling me over. I was about to comply with them, but they all had their guns.
Units in the pursuit. I have the guy in the semi on 911. He's complaining that you guys had his guns pulled out on him.
I don't know why they're trying to kill me. Yes, they are. Obviously, they throwing stuff on the ground, trying to explode the tire, and they feel like they're trying to kill me, and I'm not even.
Okay, sir, you need to comply with them. Okay, because they're in pursuit of you. You need to pull over. You're going to get yourself in more trouble than what you're already in.
Tell them to stop there if they got wrong.
That's a dog! Come to me! You don't one bit!
After a few minutes, he came to a halt and stepped out of the vehicle.
On the ground, you're gonna get bit! Come to me, man!
To his surprise, he found himself encircled by numerous officers who were loudly issuing commands.
Do not let them, don't release the dog. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Don't. Do not get the dog off of him.
After Mr. Rose exits the truck, he stands with his hands raised. Officer Ryan Speakman of the Circleville Police Department instructs Mr. Rose to get on the ground, threatening to have his dog bite him if he doesn't comply. Meanwhile, state troopers urge Mr. Rose to approach them, repeatedly cautioning Officer Speakman not to release the dog.
Get the dog off of him!
Get the dog! Get out the dog! What's the cat? What's the cat? Get the cat!
Get the dog off!
Get your dog! Get it out!
I got squad.
Don't get a call now.
Officer Speakman releases the dog, and Mr. Rose drops to his knees, keeping his hands raised. Officer Speakman then commands the dog to attack, and it bites Mr. Rose, maintaining its grip for more than 30 seconds.
Do not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog with his hands up. Don't. Do not get the dog off of him.
The utilization of police canines was discussed, and it was reported that a canine might be employed to apprehend a suspect. The policy manual allows for such use if the canine handler reasonably believes that the individual has committed, is committing, or is threatening to commit a serious offense. Furthermore, the manual authorizes the use of a canine if the handler has a reasonable belief that the suspect poses an imminent threat of violence or serious harm, or if the suspect is physically resisting or threatening to resist arrest, and the use of a canine appears necessary to overcome such resistance. Considering these sections, it appears probable that Officer Speakman's actions were a violation of department policy. The officers request emergency medical services, and as they wait for an ambulance, they make an effort to administer first aid to Mr. Rose's wounds using supplies from a first aid kit.
No, why you keep bending my arm?
We're trying to get it wrapped.
We're wrapping it up. We're not trying to hurt you.
Here. Here's a pad. On it.
After EMS arrived, Mr. Rose was transported to a local hospital where he received treatment and was subsequently discharged. Following his hospital visit, he was taken to the Ross County Jail and later released on bond. According to court records, Mr. Rose faced a fourth-degree felony charge of failure. To comply with an order or signal of a police officer, Officer Speakman receives a failing grade for directing a canine to bite an unarmed and surrendering citizen, resorting to what appears to be likely excessive force to compel compliance from a non-violent individual. Additionally, he ignored instructions from the police agency in charge of the apprehension throughout the encounter. Officer Speakman's actions demonstrated a complete lack of empathy for Mr. Rose and the pain inflicted upon him. He seemed entirely unaware that his actions could potentially be unconstitutional. In fact, Officer Speakman's body camera recorded a conversation with a colleague in which he expressed bewilderment about why the state troopers were upset with him.
I don't know why they seem like...
I don't know.
He didn't comply. I gave him 3 commands. I told him, final warning. If you don't get on the ground, you're going to get the dog. I don't know why they seem mad at me for it. He wasn't complying. I mean, am I wrong?
Mr. Rose has secured legal representation and is preparing for a substantial lawsuit. As for Speakman, he has been dismissed from the police department and no longer has the canine under his charge.
Just witnessed Tyree Nichols brutalized by the police who didn't do anything to warrant such brutality.
Jadarius, can I ask you though?
Yeah. Fears were confirmed, Tom.
Jadarius, you told police you were afraid on 911. The police that were chasing you obviously couldn't hear that 911 call. I got to ask you though, is there a reason why you didn't stop?
Scared.
You were scared?
Yeah.
Ben, people are going to be seeing this video. They're going to be seeing this case. Are there still criminal charges against your client?
Yes, there are, Tom, and that's why he can't say very much, but I think he said enough to let America know what fears many young black people have in America when they are being pursued by police.